Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3, my story. Thanks for joining me again, and here on beautiful Vancouver Island. I last left off, I was talking about drums, and I was in my 20s. So there was a time where I thought I had found the love of my life, and that didn't work out. So it completely broke my heart, and I was wallowing in my own sorrow for quite some time, and eventually found a job. Just kind of stumbled upon this job. I started applying for jobs after my time in Cambridge, Ontario, not wanting to work in factories and that kind of thing. I pretty much tried so many things at that point, and everywhere I turned, I saw her face. I don't know, it's a song title probably. I should write that. Anyway, so I just really felt like I needed to do something or kind of move on from my current situation. And so I started applying for jobs, and I got a job working for a hypnotist and a magician, believe it or not, doing sound and lighting, which I really had no experience in at the time. And but I had lots of musical experience, so I went for the interview and I ended up getting the job. And mostly they were looking for someone like me, based on my personality. So I ended up being a stage manager, working for a hypnotist and a magician, traveling across Canada, doing shows in theaters and high schools. So I did a tour of Ontario first, and then ended up doing a cross-Canada tour with these guys, one at a time. They toured separately, so the tours kind of stopped and started. But I was driving a 1-ton truck across this great nation and doing shows. I'd set up the show. It was me and a videographer. Run the show, did all the smoke and the lighting and all of that. It's my first time I ever learned how to use a soundboard. I was really putting myself out there and being brave and doing something I'd never done before, which was a little scary. But being part of this tour, I learned so much about sound and lighting, which I use all the time today, especially in my live shows, but also sometimes in the studio and so on. But this tour took me out all the way out west from Ontario, and it was my first time here on Vancouver Island as well. It's the first time I got to see the beauty of this place, and played a lot of shows here before moving up into northern BC and started heading back east. Ended up quitting in Edmonton, and that kind of started my whole journey, which I'll talk about in the next episode. But I quit the hypnotist tour, magic tour in Edmonton. I was on the magic tour at that time. And I remember the general manager calling me up, upset about something ridiculous on the tour. And I remember how I was so sick at the time. I had the flu. I was in the hotel room. Talk about being quarantined. And I was just fed up with this whole thing, and so they gave me the option to either, because I decided to quit, and so they gave me the option to either fly me back home or give me the equivalent money for a flight, and then I'd be on my way. And so I decided to take the money and get on a bus, and with all my bags, I think I had about 4 bags worth of stuff at the time, and I took a bus to Jasper, Alberta, and that's really where a lot of my travels started. And that's all I had on me. I didn't have any instruments or anything at the time, and that's where I was really finding myself. I was about 26 years old, but it ended up being one of the most beautiful things that ever happened to me in my life. So thanks for tuning in, and hope that you can join in for some more of my story on the next episode. And please like, share, subscribe to my channel, And please click the notification bell too, so you know when the next time I post a new video, or eventually we'll go live too. So stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon, folks.